the scent of sea air after a storm. A love story that defied time, a tragedy that birthed a new life, and a promise kept across oceans and years. The world moved on, as it always did. Time doesn't pause for love, or memory, or even for legends resting at the bottom of the sea. But in the shadows of what remained, in the quiet corners where history softened into myth, Titanic lived on, not just as a shipwreck, but as a moment frozen in time. A heartbeat echoing across generations. A story whispered in the rust of her steel bones and in the eyes of those who still dared to dream. For the people who had heard Rose's story, who truly listened, it changed something. Brock Lovett, who had once chased artifacts and price tags, walked away from the business not long after that final voyage. He donated his entire private collection of recovered Titanic items to maritime museums across the world, and for the rest of his life, he refused to speak of the diamond. When asked, he'd only smile a little sad and say, "Some things aren't meant to be found." He returned to the oceans sometimes, not for treasure, but for peace. He would drop a single red rose into the sea on every anniversary of the sinking, letting it drift on the waves. Not because he had to, but because some stories demand remembrance. Lizzie, Rose's granddaughter, went on to publish a memoir, not about the Titanic herself, but about her grandmother. Titled Becoming Rose Dawson, it became a quiet bestseller, not for its shock or scandal, but for its soul. In it, she included photographs of the sketch, of Rose's art, and of the strange, winding trail that led from privilege to poverty to peace. Readers cried. Some reached out with their own family stories of lost love, of reinvention, of starting over. And Lizzie read every letter. She would sit sometimes at the beach, where her grandmother used to watch the horizon in silence. She'd think of that girl who once stood on the stern of Titanic, wind in her hair, arms outstretched, as though daring the world to let her fly. The girl who ran from a cage, fell into the sea, and survived not because she was strong, but because someone believed in her. Someone who'd drawn her picture like she was worth seeing. And she'd whisper into the breeze, "Thank you, Jack." Down beneath the waves, Titanic slept. Her once